Welcome back to the channel, and today's video is about assembling one of the PBRs, one of the patrol boat rivers for the Vietnam build, and we're just going to get straight into it. 1/285 scale or 6mm, and this is our boat. And first I start with going around with a file, just tidy up any flashing you see along the boat, and actually wasn't pretty bad, so there's not much to do there. And there's a little instruction guide here, and on the guide at the front it's got the twin 50 caliber machine gun mounts into here, the navigation light pole into the first hole here, the radar dome second hole, canopy cover which is up here, all these bits are on here, that's the light pole there, rotating 50 cal turret, and then a machine gun on the back. So we'll get straight into it because we need as much time as we can because it is fiddly. Now I'm going to start with this little radar pole here. Use tweezers if you want, or any sort of aid. That's that pole, and that's going to slot into the first hole here on our model. So I'll start by trying to get that straight, and this is one that was just loose in the packet and it's pretty straight, so we're sort of lucky that it's already straight or relatively straight. And sometimes I use a little tray. I've just got a Pringles lid, a Pringles container. I'll put a bit of glue on there, and then I'll use the toothpick. Sometimes I'll use the toothpick to just pick up a bit of that glue and just drop it into the hole. Sometimes I find that's just easier than trying to squeeze some glue out. So I've got some tweezers here, and I'll try and pick it up so I can get it straight on. And this is super fiddly, this model. I'll just hold that there for a second, and it's crooked, but I'll just straighten that up with my finger. That's the first bit done. I'll just put it down there. We'll move on to this little sprue. It has a bit of everything on it, but we want one of these radar poles, which is down the bottom here. I'm just going to try and straighten it up a bit. Bit of flashing on it. Cut it. And that's handy, isn't it? My hobby knife just decided it didn't want to work. Just cut that end bit of flashing off of it, and then just cut that radar dome off. Sorry, my hobby knife's not working. It's always good. And once it's got that radar dome out, I'll straighten it up, and I'll just try and get a file on it, lay it along it, and just use that to try and straighten it up a bit. The bottom's not quite happy. And it doesn't hurt either if you want to try and just drill out these holes a bit. I haven't, but you can. So a little bit more of that glue, that top hole. And I grab the radar dome. This is big enough to pick up, but yeah, of course you can use tweezers. And I'll just hold that there for a little bit. Now the radar dome and light pole were configured a few ways, so I'll swap them around on the other model. So I'll just put that down gently, ever so slightly, so that's set. So you can swap them around. There's 3 or 4 different configurations for PBRs in Vietnam, and yeah, you can sort of Google it and see all that sort of stuff. Next I want this 50 cal, which is this piece here, is that 50 caliber machine gun. I'll just straighten that barrel a bit while it's on the sprue, then I'll cut it out. Once that's cut out, I'll have a quick look at it. Looks okay, besides the barrel being a bit bent. Just try and straighten that up a bit, and that goes on the rear. So this is on the instructions at the back. This is the rear mount, and same thing again, a little bit of super glue just on the back. I'll pick it up with tweezers by the barrel. I just dropped it on the ground. Try not to do that. We got another 50 cal. Yep, we do. So we'll go again with this one. This is the thing too, just be careful how you, and it's got a little bit of flashing on it, but just be a little bit careful how you handle them. You can drop them like I just did. Straighten that barrel a bit. And some of these barrels are just going to be a little bit short because it is tiny pewter. A little bit more glue. And then I just try and place that on that rear mount. Let it bond for a few seconds. Almost lost another one. Just have to be patient. I'm just holding that to let it bond. It doesn't want to. Try and put my finger on top of it. It's a great view of just my finger, isn't it? And then once that's on this front machine gun mount, just trim up any extra flashing. I'll grab a tiny piece of blue tack, and with my toothpick I'll place that inside the front of that hole where that recess is for the gun mount, and then I'll place that turret there. I push that in. I don't glue that in, I just push that in with blue tack. And then mounting the canopy, this shape here goes to the front, the bow of the boat, and the open area like that is at the back. So once again, I just go around, give it a quick file if you think there's anything on there. And then this bit, because it's a bit tricky to actually see the points of contact, I'm just going to put glue directly onto the model to try and maximize anywhere where it might make contact. and then I'll just place that in front of the place it just behind the radar. And it just makes contact with that area. It's unreal how much of it doesn't touch the actual boat. But that's the assembled model. Just put it in this little tray and bring it up. So that's the 50 cal at the back, and that's just following the instructions. So the 50 cal at the back. We haven't put an M16 in between these two shields because we might try and crew it. We might put a crew on it. Canopy, radar, lighting, navigation dome, and the front gun turret, and that's following the instructions. And that's what I do for the assembly of the PBR River. They are fiddly, excuse me. Be really careful and just take your time. And we'll get the other one assembled off camera, and I've decided to do all the Riverine craft together so we can prime them and paint them all at the same time. Thanks for watching.